No matter how wealthy you are, the mistake you wouldn't want to make is to think that you can buy love with your money. You can buy friends to be around you because you are rich, but you cannot buy real love. That is the lesson AGK needs to learn, because at the end of the day, you will be lonely even with the money that you have. Remember after what happened in the last episode, where Chingu told AGK that he's going to lose everything. Now he has lost his child, he has lost Maachi and money, that he's going to end up being lonely. AGK thought that Chingu was actually playing with him. On this episode, AGK could not even sleep. How would he be able to sleep when Maachi is always there with him on the bed? But now AGK cannot sleep at night. He's thinking about Maachi all night. This is the same AGK who has been telling Maachi that he's going to divorce her, that she's doing nothing for him and all that. Now that Maachi has just left you for one night, AGK could not spend the night alone. He's shouting, I cannot sleep. I need to do everything possible to bring Maachi back. Your money should have been enough to bring Maachi by force to your house if you think money is everything. You should learn your lesson and bring down your ego. If not, you will remain single. Because Dan will not be sleeping on the same bed with you. He will be in his own house enjoying his own wife and family, while you will end up being alone, even with all your money. Andy came to see Maachi, who has been so lonely even in the mother's house. Maachi has been thinking about AGK as well. But then, Andy, as a caring friend, asked Maachi, how are you? But then Maachi told Andy, how do you think I am? Because at the end of the day, Maachi is not even excited. She is still in so much pain after losing her only child. The only thing that would have brought joy to Maachi's heart was taken away. It's so unfortunate that after all Maachi has sacrificed in this marriage, AGK will not just bring down his ego and allow this girl to enjoy this marriage. Andy told Maachi not to listen to anything that his friend has to say to her, because AGK says things, and at the end of the day, when you look at what AGK says, you see Dan in it. AGK cannot make his own decision without Dan's influence. And then Maachi went on to say, yes, I know. And it's so unfortunate that I'm married to a man who cannot make his own decision. How can a grown-up man like AGK not be able to stand on his own word? It is so painful and disgusting. But then, Maachi loved AGK so much. Maachi pleaded with Andy not to abandon AGK, that she knows that AGK actually accused him of everything that happened, but he shouldn't give up on AGK, that AGK is actually a baby. He might look tough in the outside, but in the inside, he's actually a baby, that he should keep being in his life, so that Dan will not lead AGK into serious trouble or pits that he will not be able to come out from. But the truth of the matter is that AGK is really, in fact, he's at the verge of falling into the pit. But then, Maachi still insists that if Andy keeps being in AGK's life, AGK will not actually fall into the trouble that Dan wants him to get into. But then, you can see the love that Maachi has for AGK is something that she cannot even do away with. It's so unconditional. In fact, this is the real definition of unconditional love. But then, it seems as though Andy has something for Chingu which he hasn't revealed yet. We will get to find out, because the way Andy seems to care about Chingu these days is showing that Andy is gradually falling in love with Chingu. Andy asked Chingu what her plans are. What are your plans? It's so unfortunate that Chingu, even at this point, has no plans for her life or her future. Even if things are not working well with you, you should have a goal, something that you are working towards, even if financially you are not stable or bold enough for you to, go for your goals. But then Chingu was asking Andy, how can somebody like me have a goal of have plans? That is only somebody who has money that should have it. You are big and you have a child, you have responsibility, so you should think of what you need to do to make everything work out for you. In this life, even if you don't have money, you should have good friends that will give you good advice. If you can have good friends around you, I'm telling you, you will be able to make it. Even without the money, something good will come your way. But then, Andy went on to advise Chingu not to go back to the village. That people leave the village to the city for them to find greener pasture. You cannot be leaving the city to the village. That you should see Maachi's mother's house as your own house. In fact, talk to them and they will allow you. But then Chingu was making a statement that the only people that are there for her is Maachi and the mother. Aside the both of them, who else? But Chinwe failed to understand that Andy is willing to help. So you should always include Andy in the picture. But then Ejike has been so lonely in this house, he could not even go to the office. You can see how much Ejike misses Munachi. So all the while that Ejike was threatening Munachi of divorce, he was just playing around. Deep down inside, Ejike knows that he cannot do without Munachi. He could not go to work, but then Dan, the bad friend, came. After all, we all know that Dan is the worst friend that Ejike can ever have. He's only interested in the downfall of Ejike. He came and was asking Ejike, why are you not at the office? I went to check up on you at the office and they told me that you didn't come to the office. That what is going on? You don't need to allow your business to suffer. But then Ejike was like, I can't go to the office. I don't want to go to the office. But then Dan told Ejike, instead of wallowing in self-pity, you should pick up the pieces you have left and move on. Forget about Munachi. How can you be here instead of you working in your office and making money? You are here because of a woman. That you need to go to the bank, get the money, because you know you have a lot of debts that you need to service. You cannot stay home. You need to go there and chase the bag and forget about Munachi. All this is because Dan has a selfish interest. Now I know the reason why Dan is always pushing Ejike, because he knows that once he tells Ejike something and Ejike is cool with it, Ejike will give him money. That is why he keeps on hailing Ejike, oh, courageous billions, courageous zillions. But then Ejike went ahead to say, oh, what did I do to deserve a friend like you? Can you imagine? Ejike is so pleased with Dan being his friends. He has not even seen that Dan is only interested in his downfall. He went ahead to ask for Dan's account number so that he can give him some money for hailing him as courageous billions. I just hope that your eyes will be open before it's too late. Munachi, on the other hand, was trying to see how she can bring back her senses and everything, because she needs some time to herself to take care of her mental health. But she got a call from Ejike's uncle checking up on how she is doing after everything that has happened. But we all know that Munachi is a strong woman. She's just hanging there. But while on call, Chinwe did something very, very suspicious. She was just poke-nosing in the call, trying to snitch in to hear what the uncle is saying. But then Munachi finished the uncle and Chinwe came down to tell Munachi that, you are indeed a strong woman. In fact, you are the strongest woman that I have ever met. That after all this, you are still so strong. But Munachi, you need to understand that everybody is telling you the same thing. We are all saying the same thing. You need to understand that you will continue to suffer if you are still with Ejike. The only time you will be free from this trouble is when you leave Ejike. Munachi now told Chinwe that she will feel defeated. That if after all what has happened, Ejike did not change or he gets worse, she will feel defeated. You can imagine the kind of heart that Munachi has towards Ejike. But then Chinwe was so surprised that Munachi loves Ejike so much. She told Munachi that she used to think that good thing happens to people that have done good things before. That she is surprised how Ejike, that is a very bad person, is given to Munachi. That Munachi is so good. She's just wasting her goodness. That is how good Munachi is. In fact, Munachi's mother did a great job in raising Munachi. And Munachi is also a role model to so many women out there. In fact, if so many women out there will act like Munachi, I am telling you, marriages will be so sweet. Because, look at the way Munachi is always handling this issue. She doesn't want anybody to interfere in her marital affairs. And that is how marriage should be. Love your husband with the whole of your heart and be ready to sacrifice. And that is what marriage is all about. I wish Ejike would do the same thing for Munachi and bring down his ego, go to the village and bury Mama so that the both of them can have peace in this marriage. Let's see what the next episode will hold for us. If you have not liked the video, like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I will bring the next episode as soon as it drops. But for now, take care.